I want to ask for something. I'm here with infinite intelligence, so I want to make a momentum in the thing that I want. Because I never speak about what I want, and right now I want to speak about what I want.
We'll hear you.
Yeah, so the thing is like, I want to clarify, amplify the subject of I want to build a career about being myself, about being able to help people just by being an example of being selfishly myself. And I want to write a book. I just want to be like that. I want to be free of all the stuff.
Have you lived anything where you weren't being that?
Yeah.
So you have some examples of what that feels like?
Yeah.
And do you have examples of how different things occurred to you and you overcame that?
Oh, thousands.
So you have a lot of material for a book.
Yeah, a lot of material.
Yeah.
For a lot of books. But the thing is, yeah.
And so
the thing is like, when I'm not in it now, I'm punishing myself, saying like, nobody's going to read it.
Well, that's getting a little old, isn't it?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
So why don't you cut it out?
That's why I'm here with infinite intelligence, saying like, I want this momentum going, and to have something to anchor my head when I get this stuff, because it usually comes.
The thing about having a desire, like writing a book, in the gathering of the material for the book, sometimes there's emphasis upon what isn't working at the same time that you're finding the solution for what is. And sometimes that can put you in a sort of not moving in any direction place. And so there's a little bit too much empathy going on with those you are trying to help. And therefore you're holding yourself sort of where they are, and that's why the inspiration isn't taking over. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would say to ourselves the following sentences, not word for word, but this is the idea that we would be presenting to ourselves. I'm figuring it out as I go, and the inspiration is coming more and more, and I or no one will ever figure it out all at once. And I didn't come here to figure it out all at once. And I'm doing so much better than I once was doing. And I have such deep understanding about much of this. And now I'm at the point where I really want things to come out of the vortex and into my present experience. I really want to be the deliberate creator of my own experience. I want to actualize the things that I have been philosophizing about. I want the thoughts to turn to things. I want the thoughts to turn to things. I want to put my money where my mouth is. I want to be an example of what I know to be. I want to be a living example of someone who's tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I want to stand in alignment even when things come up to me that would ordinarily take me into a negative place. I want to hold my alignment with my source. I want to hold compassion for others rather than be so empathetic and go where they are. I want to be the deliberate creator of my own reality, and I want to witness it when others are being that too. I want to revel in the value that I have as I am offering myself into this world, and I want to look for value wherever I see it across the spectrum that is this life experience with all others. I want to fulfill my reason for being, which means I want new contrast in order to inspire me to new desires. But I also, more than anything, want to be in alignment with how Source sees all of this. This is my quest. This is what I'm about these days. I want to be in more consistent alignment so that the things that I've put into my vortex can be revealing themselves to me. I want this understanding to turn into something that not only I can see, but others can see too. Because I am a teacher, and I cannot teach what I do not know. And I know that there are masses out there that are wanting to understand this, that are wanting to know what I know. And so it is my powerful intention that no matter where I am, no matter where I'm going, no matter who I'm with, that I'm going to look for what I'm wanting to see. I'm going to get my guidance system activated in a way that it has never been activated before. I'm going to feel the power of the relationship between me and me. I'm going to know relative to every subject, because I'm going to take the time to feel it, what my inner being means about this and what I mean about this in relationship to what my inner being means about this. I'm not going to be sloppy in my thinking. I'm not going to be lazy in my thinking. I'm going to be more precise precise in my thinking, and most of all, I'm going to begin to feel about me like my inner being feels about me. I know my inner being knows that I can do this. I know my inner being knows that I'm worthy. I know that my inner being knows that I have put so many things in my vortex, and my inner being is wanting them to come out where I can see them and play with them, and where others can too. I know all of these things. I'm just now ready to stop talking about it and to begin doing it.
Oh.
Because I know that I am the creator of my own experience. I have the power to be deliberate in what I am about. I want my guidance system to count for something. If I feel negative emotion, I don't plan ever to ignore it again. I'm going to say, I've got negative emotion about this, which means my inner being has a different opinion. Inner being, what is your differing opinion about this? I now have the knowledge. It's time for me to apply it.
Yes. And
Really
it's because my inner being knows who I am.
Yes.
Because I feel it.
Yes.
So that's the best thing.
And you know too. You often know too. We just did a rampage.
Yeah.
Leave it there. Don't talk yourself out of it.
No, I don't want to go anywhere.
Really good.
I'm a first timer and wanted to say I love you and thank you. And Abraham, I love all of you. And I'm so grateful for your teachings and for the incredible energy I feel and positivity I feel when I use them.
Yeah.
When I'm in the vortex.
When you come into the whole of who you are.
Yes.
When you come into the whole of who you are.
Yes. Those teachings and those feelings brought me almost everything I've ever asked for in life. If you look at what I wrote down a few years ago when I started the teachings, almost everything is there. Suddenly, I'm living in Spain with the most amazing girl I ever imagined, and all of that just happened. It just manifested in this extraordinary, literally an explosion of energy.
Say it slightly different. And I allowed all of that through my understanding of the way the laws of the universe work. I tended to my vibration, kept my eyes open, and witnessed right before my eyes the receiving of what was formerly an idea in my vortex.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there are no limits for me.
Even more beautiful than seeing it is feeling it.
Yes,
The
yes.
feelings that come up when I'm receiving are
Well, you
extraordinary.
see, when you come into resonance with your source, you feel what your source feels. You're seeing with your human eyes, but you're feeling with the whole of who you are. Yeah.
Rather than ask a question about something negative, I want to play with the idea of my experience.
Well, that's good, because if you ask about something negative, then it amplifies that, and that gathers more momentum. So
Right.
when you talk about what you want, that gathers momentum. It's a more productive use of time, isn't it?
Yes. So what I want is for the relationship to be amazing. Ever since I was a kid, I've had this dream, this passion to have the most amazing relationship. And
Talking about a personal relationship
yes,
with another person?
With another person, with my girlfriend, and
Yes.
in the future, I wanted to have that amazing one-on-one relationship with my wife that would be forever. And
The thing that trips you up about that, we talked about this some yesterday and not as much today. And of course, there's no reason that that cannot be. We're not trying to discourage you from desiring that. We just want to point out that all of your power is right now. And that when you get too far down the road about something, you see, where your power, hear this, where your power comes from, what your power is, the evidence of your power happening in the moment, is the resonance that you feel with your source. When you hook up with your inner being and in that alignment you focus, that is power. And that convergence is all happening in your now. If you get too far down the road about it, then you lose that power, because the source within you is so now focused. We came across this word earlier today, and we want to go back to it so that you can feel the wholeness of it and the power of it and feel the feeling of it, the emotion behind it. And that word is convergence. The convergence. And so we often say to you, tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Tuned in, tapped in, turned on. That is convergence. That's convergence with your power. And that convergence happens now. It happens now. You don't have the ability to converge yesterday. And you really don't have the ability to converge tomorrow. You only have the ability to converge now, which means find resonance with a subject with your inner being. Think about it the way your inner being thinks about it. And what you're going to notice is that your inner being is not very interested in looking into the past, in dissecting the past, because when humans do that, they're almost always looking for justification about something, and so you lose your connection with your inner being right away. Your inner being doesn't look forward. Now hear this. We are so eager to say this to you, we can hardly wait to say it. It's going to take a slight preface so that you'll understand it fully. But when we say to you, what you've been doing is you've been sifting through the contrast of life and throwing your rockets of desire into your vortex, and your vortex becomes a now reality in which your inner being stands. Your inner being stands in now. But that now that your inner being stands in feels to you like future, because you don't want to call it now until it manifests. Ooh, you get where we're going, don't you? So your inner being is not looking back. Your inner being doesn't really even want to look back as far as what you call now. Your inner being is standing in the now of the vibrational reality and calling you to it. And when you go, then you feel that resonance. You feel confidence, you feel security, you feel love, you feel passion. But if you're standing in an insecure now, trying to see your future, your insecure now won't let you see your future. Can you feel what we're talking about here? So an understanding of where your inner being is. So where is your inner being? Your inner being is consciousness. Your inner being is focused consciousness. And what is the subject that your inner being is focused consciousness upon? Your vortex. And what does your vortex feel like to you? Your future. But what is it really? Your now. It's your now. All of your power is in the now. So as you find ways to think about things like your inner being thinks about things, then you are in perfect receiving mode to where your inner being is. And then and only then can your now become your manifested now. You hear that? Because we are loud. That is the most leading edge conversation that we've ever had about turning thoughts to things. And it also explains convergence in a way that is significant. And it also explains why sometimes when you think into your future, you get feeling all insecure, because you're not seeing your vortex as your inner being sees it, as an already done deal. As you stand in your now without something that you want, and then you try to improve your future from that position, you can't get there because you're on a different vibrational wavelength. That was a really deep understanding. Really a deep understanding.